Lounge where the stories climb high. Dr. Rhonda's in the groove where the pages touch the sky. Sip on inspiration, let the moments unwind. Every voice a horizon, new tales intertwine. From pen to passion where the art feels divine. Authors vibing together, creativity and time. So pull up your chair, let your spirit align. Horizons Author Lounge where words come alive. Welcome to Horizons Author Lounge.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M. Lawson, and I am back with another episode of the Horizons Author Lounge, and it's going to be a special night. So, as you know, we had the Black History Month Literary Weekend, and I just can't stop talking about it because it was such an amazing weekend. We had done so much, from writers' workshops to meets and greets, and we had reunions. We got to see some people that we hadn't met in a long time, or seen in a long time, I should say. And then we got to know some new people. And then we had the comedy show. Oh my goodness, the comedy show was just amazing. We had a good time. If you have not been to our Instagram and our TikTok pages and seen the highlight reel, you've got to see it. Just go to the highlight page because we showed it last week, but it just doesn't do the it just doesn't do it any justice. You've got to see it like on TikTok and Instagram. And in fact, I'm going to show it on Facebook tonight. I'm going to show it once again on Facebook tonight because you've got to see it. It's just amazing. I'm talking about, we just had a really, really good time. But there were a couple of highlights from the weekend. So at the Ivory and Cream Affair, one, we awarded our essay contest winner, a young man named Jarrell Singleton. And he wrote an amazing essay on the roots of New Orleans and how New Orleans was built by enslaved people. And like I said, he taught me a few things. And if y'all see my nails and they look crazy, some of y'all might know I'm a government worker and we on shutdown and I gotta save money. I can't do my nails right now. So what you see is what you get right now. So yeah. But anyway, I'll get my nails done when I get my check. But right now I gotta just keep it cute. But anyway, so Jarrell talked about how New Orleans was built by the enslaved people, and it was a wonderful essay. And if you haven't had a chance to read Meet the World magazine, you've got to read Meet the World magazine. And I'll put the link to the magazine in the chat. Go ahead and click on that link so you can read it. It's a free download. No, it doesn't cost you any money, but go ahead and click the link so you can check out his essay because it is amazing. This young man is going places. But another highlight that we had was Shymara Medina. She was our first place winner of the second annual For the Culture Book Awards. Now, this is something that we started last year where we wanted to award people who are doing great things and uplifting the culture. And so many people have seen book awards before, and they give first prize to the people who got the most Instagram votes or the most social media votes. And that is an aspect to our awards. However, I wanted it to be about more than that because, and this is no shade to anybody who's won these awards, but I wanted these awards to be more than just who got the most votes. Because just because you got a lot of votes does not mean that your book was well written. It does not mean that it had a great book cover, and it does not mean that you were uplifting the culture. I wanted to do something that really meant something to our culture. So what I did was I started For the Culture Book Awards. So even though we do have an element of voting, I also wanted to have a panel of judges who were going to read each book and actually have a rubric where they judged, where they put a lot of thought into actually reading the book and judging the book on specific criteria. So the actual voting, the Instagram voting or the social media voting was actually just a small facet of the judging. What happened was the judges actually read the book and they judged it on the editing quality. They judged it on the book cover. They judged it on the overall story quality, and then they also judged it on how much it actually uplifted the culture. And we had a really good showing of children's book authors this year. And this year, our first place winner was Shymara Medina. And she not only uplifted the culture with her story, but she also had a very well written book, and it was a children's book. So I thought that she did such an amazing job. Not and for it to just be a for it to be a children's book, which is not that easy to do. I mean, people think that it's a because it's a children's book, it's got to be easy. You can just throw some things together and the kids will understand. But the fact that she was able to uplift the culture and write something that the children would understand and that it would actually touch people, I thought that was something totally amazing. And I want you all to know, and I've said this before, I have absolutely nothing to do with the judging. In fact, I don't even touch these books until well after the winners are chosen because I don't want to put pressure on any of the judges. And the judges don't even talk to each other, they're on different parts of the country. So that's how fair I try to keep the judging. But without any further ado, I want you to meet our first place winner. We're going to spend an hour getting to know Miss Shymara Medina. This is somebody you have to know. Hello, ma'am. How are you?
Hello, good evening. How are you doing today?
I'm fabulous. Thank you so much for being a part of the contest, and thank you for being here tonight and spending some time with little old me.
It's my pleasure. Because of you, I am where I am today. So I'm grateful for the opportunity and just for the whole experience of all. You did an amazing job putting everything together and just having that avenue paved for our authors is it's amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the kind words. What made you decide to be a part of the contest? I mean, had
Um,
contest before you submitted?
I actually hadn't heard of the contest, but I was recommended by your winner last year, Mark, and he won last year. And I was like, I'll just log on to her podcast, and I was on your show, and because I was on your show, you were doing the Culture Book Awards, and I was like. Okay, this is something different, but I would like an opportunity for my story to be heard in a bigger level, a bigger audience. So definitely, I think it just took a village and other authors that like I've always said, it's a big community of authors that we're continuously supporting one another and believe in one another, but also for you paving that way for us to have those access to be able to show our books in a different way.
And that's so cool. I love the fact that the word is getting out because people are talking about it and
Right.
actually sharing with each other. And that's a great thing.
It definitely is. I think that that's really important in the field that we are as writing and authors. I always try to come into a space where it's not a competition. It's kind of just we're uplifting one another. Goes back to just we're all in the same journey. It doesn't matter where our stories are about or where they're going, but at the end of the day, we're trying to just touch people or inspire children or inspire adults or just kind of just make our stories be heard.
Absolutely. Now, this isn't your first book, is it?
So I have two children books out right now. I'm writing my third book, and that one's going to be more like a young adult novel. So I think that's my going to be my focus this year is to kind of just get that going. It's been drilling in the back of my head a little bit more this year to get it done. So definitely, I'm going to make sure that I just hunker down and just right. I usually wait for a moment that is just like, okay, this is it. Because if either other than that, I'll be just writing over and over and tossing pages. So
I'm telling you, sometimes we as authors, we sit here and we wait for the stars to align and the planets to align. We wait for that moment to hit us, and next thing you know, like 2, 3 years have passed by, and we haven't written their word.
nothing, nothing. So I'm like, no, this definitely has to be. I think I took the experience last year and the experience that you were able to give me with the award to kind of just be like, okay, now I need to definitely continue writing because my purpose is to write. It is to touch. It is to inspire. And so with that, I told myself this year, I was like, no, I'm definitely going to sit down and write more. Um, I still do my events, but I'm not going to be as overzealous as I was last year, definitely, so I can get that moment to kind of just get my story out. I have a date in mind, but I feel like if I tell myself that, maybe I'll get it out more quicker.
There you go. There you go. Now, now you are featured in Meet the World magazine as well. And
Mhm.
one of the things that you mentioned in your article is that you actually wanted to reach children, which is the reason why you chose to write children's books. And believe it or not, some people choose to write children's books because they think that they're easier to write. Some people think it's a good way to make money because children's books sell, but you chose for kind of a higher purpose. So, can you talk a bit about why you chose to write children's books?
I feel like we've come into an era where technology is more of what kids are given access to versus stories. And I've always wanted to my stories to become real. And it was a tradition I did with my kids during bedtime, but I just make up stories and I'd see them light up and it created a bond, not only, with the stories, but as parents and with your children. Those are things that I felt that they would look forward to. So I wanted that share that with other children. I wanted them to either feel seen or heard through my stories or just create those special memories and bonding moments with their family and just the bedtime routine is just uplifted with stories and they can sit there with their mom and dad after a long day. Because sometimes as parents, we get caught up with life and we're just like, oh my God. But we don't realize how important it is to spend that quality time with our children that we won't be able to get back. And those things will leave an impression on them and just to inspire children in general to believe and to know that they do matter, they can be seen, and they're my stories, they can relate to them.
And that was a big thing for you, is making sure that you wrote stories that the kids could relate to.
Right. I feel like there's a lot of obstacles that they're facing nowadays, and I wanted something to be relatable but also fun and something that they can look at and just laugh and when I go do story times or visit the schools, it's amazing to hear the responses of the kids and how they light up and how they're like, oh, that's me, or just hear them see their input in how they are. I always ask them, how are you like Zeke? And they'll tell me like, oh, well, and it may like in Zeke's, it's a spelling test, but others will tell me they need courage for a football game
Yeah.
or for a dance rehearsal or a dance recital. So either whatever aspect or whatever thing they're going through, they can still see themselves through my stories.
So tell us, what is Zeke's quest for courage all about? What's the story about?
So Zeke's Quest for Courage, definitely my foundation is a blended family. So it just shows the support that a blended family can still have. We, as a blended family, we all know there could be multiple personalities and different ages and different needs amongst the children. So in this story, particularly, Zeke is nervous about a spelling test. So the parents are focused on giving him the courage he needs and make sure that he understands he has it. But with that, he still does not believe it's enough. So don't want to give away too much of the story, but he does fall into this deep dream state where I feel like most kids would, struggle with that. And sometimes they don't want to tell us what they're thinking or feeling. But Zeke is able to face his fears in this dream and conquer it and realized that he knew what he needed to know the whole time. He had the courage, he had the support, and he was able to triumph at the end.
That's awesome. Now, is this something that you saw with your own kids?
Yeah, so I felt that with my son itself, he always struggled with spelling words. And so that kind of inspired the spelling test in the story. And I was always trying to find ways. I'm like, how is he going to remember these spelling words? So, I didn't incorporate it in the story. The story is more like family game night and stuff. But for me personally, I just started to make songs out of the words.
Yeah.
So it seemed to click, but at the end of the day, it's just us pouring into them, whatever way or route we found a way for them to understand it. It's just us being present in their lives and supporting and guiding them. I mean, they do have their teachers, but at the end of the day, it starts in the home. Correct. So I saw that, and I saw the nerves that came from spelling tests because it didn't want to disappoint me or disappoint himself or his teacher, or just look bad amongst his friends because he was not the only one, like, wasn't passing his test. So it was work. And so I kind of wanted to make sure that he understood that he'll get there, and we know that he's trying his best and he has every ability to do this best. So that's kind of where that came from.
Well, I'll tell you, sometimes the pressure comes from our so-called friends.
Hmm.
Um, no matter how smart you are, sometimes we have so-called friends who don't want us to be smarter than them.
Right.
And they will actually tear us down so they can build themselves up. Or they'll say things like, "Oh, you're no better than I am," or "You're not all that smart," or "You're dumb," because they don't want you to be heads and shoulders above them. And in our communities, they'll even say things like, "Oh, you want to be white." And
Hmm.
that is a terrible insult in our communities. Don't tell me that I want to be white, because if you tell me that I want to be white, all of a sudden I will start trying to be more of what I consider black. And what I consider black sometimes will be to dumb myself down because I want to be accepted in my community. Because how dare I think that being smart is being black? So
Right. And it's not associated with that
exactly,
aspect. Hmm.
exactly. So, if I'm too smart, then the kids will think that I want to be white. And I remember, I'm never going to forget when the first time I was ever exposed to, at that time, Senator Barack Obama. And he talked about how kids would, and I don't remember his exact words, but he was talking about how kids would sometimes not want to be considered too white, because, they did not want to be considered too smart because they would be considered wanting to be white. So they would often try to, hold back,
Hold
ease
back. Yeah.
down. And so I'm glad that now we've kind of gotten past that a little bit, to where now we're actually celebrating our kids for being smart, and we're celebrating our kids for wanting to get ahead, because we weren't doing that at one time. We were
No.
we were actually making fun of them for wanting to get ahead, or we were actually telling them that they weren't they that they were thinking that they were too much, or that they
Yeah,
were.
instilling our own fears into and hindering their growth or progress for the future. Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough world out there for them, especially that. But for me, definitely, that's where the other hand of writing the stories plays, because I have seen kickbacks of trying to get into schools and read my stories. They're not always accepted or welcome, and so that's my next step, is to kind of just open up eyes and open up perspectives of why the stories should be in schools, and have these kids kind of just dive into different diversity and culture, just understand that they shape the future. So
Absolutely.
um, knowledge is power.
Absolutely. And they knowledge is power. In fact, I used to have a class ring that I'm I think it was stolen, but it makes me feel better to just say it was lost.
I hear that.
Yeah, but I think it was stolen. But my classroom actually said knowledge is power on it. And I really believe that. Um, because I do believe the more you know, the more you grow.
hmm
The more you learn, the more you can earn.
Exactly. Exactly. And just reading, as I try to tell my kids and even any kids I encounter, reading is like a passport. It's an endless adventures, endless opportunities. It could open new adventures, new avenues, new friendships. I'm constantly reading, so I'm setting that example for them. They may not always copy what I'm doing, but they
Yes.
do see it. They do see what I'm doing, and they just to know that they are proud of me as an author and support me, then I'm like, okay, I'm on the right path, because it's difficult to reach our kids nowadays. We're not cool enough sometimes, or they get a little embarrassed in that aspect. But I've not felt that in any way at all, especially with the kids I've encountered. They've just been so amazing and open to the stories. That's why I want to continue writing and continue pushing these type of stories out there for our kids.
Absolutely. So, all of your stories, do they have some type of message element to them?
Yeah, I wanted to make sure there was a message. So Zeke's Quest for Courage, the message is courage, but it's also family, it's bond, it's believing in yourself, it's dreaming big, the impossible, right? And then Birth with Zeke Becomes a Beekeeper, which it teaches responsibility. It teaches kids to take initiative where they see something's lacking, and that's a family business. In Zeke Becomes a Beekeeper, Zeke sees where the family is struggling, and plays his part in the business and plays his role, and at the end of the day he feels empowered. He feels a part of something, and a lot of the times our kids feel like, where do they belong? And
Yeah.
so Zeke Becomes a Beekeeper teaches responsibility, teaches them in general just a little bit more about bees, and to treat things with kindness, treat animals with kindness, things that provides support to our food sources and stuff like that. So there's many stories in the story if you look at it that way. But that's my favorite part about writing, is to be able to do a message in a fun way, and be able to inspire kids to just dream the impossible and do the impossible.
Amen. Amen. Now, are all of your books going to have Zeke as your main character?
So I've thought of that. I feel like I'm probably gonna do another Zeke, obviously. Zeke has been very strong, and strongly accepted. And I think people have always like, well, what Zeke's gonna do next? But my next story is more geared towards my young ladies, my teens, in high school era. And this is back relating to my own personal stories with my raising my daughters, and the things that I've seen now of coming with age and all the struggles they deal with. So I'm really excited to write that book, because it's based off personal experiences and a lot of learning and growth between a mother and daughter relationship that can be hard nowadays. And so I'm really, really excited. The title of that one's going to be Blossoming Through the Wreckage.
Oh, I like
And
the title.
yeah, yeah, because there's a lot, there's a lot that goes on. So I'm really, really excited to write. That goes back. I got to get it done. I got to get it done.
Yes. So you're saying you got to get it done, but you also have a day job too, and I have a day job, and
hmm
I'm doing a lot. So how in the world are you finding all this time to do all this stuff?
I ask myself the same thing, but then I think back. I go, I asked for this. I asked for a purpose. I
Yeah,
asked for a purpose-driven life, and it's my passion. It's I love to do. I love to write. So it's not I feel like you find time for the things you like to do,
you
right?
do.
So obviously my day job is needed to sustain the daily stuff, and we're a big family in anyways, but the writing, you find time for the things you love to do, and it's my it's therapeutic for me. I could sit down and write in short period. I wrote Zeke's Quest for Courage in 3 hours
Oh
in
wow.
one day. I literally wrote that. Z becomes a beekeeper in one day. I wrote it. I know when I focus down and I find the time, I will get it done. I'm on a mission because once I'm locked in, I'm locked in. You find the time. My schedule is hectic. There's 6 kids totals. There's a day job. There's littles. There's bigs. There's everything. There's the bees, the honey business. It's all of that. But
Hmm.
at the end of the day, if you love to do it, you find the time, and I'm gonna find time.
Now I think I do remember us talking about the bees, being
Yes.
a beekeeper. That was always interesting to me. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, and surprisingly, I was actually out in the hives yesterday because we had this most beautiful weather over the weekend here in Georgia. And I was like, okay, the bees are out, they're thriving. I'm like, okay. And then today, I mean, I'm out with snow flurries and 35-degree weather.
Girl, that happened
And
in DC too. I was like, man, it was 80 degrees one day and it was snowing the next day.
right. And see, the bees, I can't go in there and under 50-degree weather because it's not safe for them. So I
Mm,
was thankful I got in there yesterday, but I was so happy to see them thriving. I'm like, oh my God, they're ready for the springtime for real. So I'm excited to see what they do this year, how much honey they produce, and just do the magic that they do every day.
that is so cool though. I mean, you just don't meet very many beekeepers.
No, you really don't. And sadly, this year, a lot of beekeepers lost a lot of bees. So, with that, it's like we need more, awareness of the struggles we go through as beekeepers. A lot of things are out of our control. The environment, um, just diseases. That's what one of the things I talk about in Seek Becomes a Beekeeper is one of the diseases that attacks the hives. And we try our bestest, but at the end of the day, sometimes we lose. And it's sad. It's sad because you do have to start all over again. So right now, I was like, "Ah, I gotta feed them because I gotta get them through this cold front."
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, how do you take care of the bees in this type of weather when it's changing like this? We can barely take care of ourselves in this kind of weather.
Yeah, so they're bees aren't really they really like to do what they do. They don't like to be bothered. But and during the winter, the most important is just to keep them fed because they're not unable to go out and collect the pollen and the nectar to create the honey. So it's just basically making sure we're continuously feeding them to give them that energy to be able to continue to lay eggs and build honey. And because if they don't have it for themselves, they're not going to survive. That is their
Right.
source.
Right.
So to prepare for that before winter hits, we know everyone wants honey, but we also got to keep them in mind. It's like if we don't leave them enough honey in their hives, they're not going to survive because that's their source. And they're not going to leave their hive box. They're going to try to stay inside and stay warm.
This is true. This is true. So between the day job, the writing, and the bees, do you have time for
It
yourself?
It I do. I actually do. It's very important for me to find time for myself, just to keep my sanity, obviously. But more importantly, to continue to pour, I got to make sure I'm pouring into myself, and I cannot let go of that. So, even if it's going to the grocery store by myself, to be honest with you, that's it's quiet. It's a quiet place, but I do always schedule time for myself. I I have a strict bedtime, and I'm like, okay, this is bedtime. After this, it's adult time. I gotta focus on what I'm doing. Either I'm reading, doing research on writing or just events in general, or sometimes I do go watch a favorite show, but that doesn't happen too often. I really don't sit and watch TV
I
too
get it.
often.
I
But
get
I
it.
think the key for me is I've always been an organized person. I love using my planner. So what I try to do is I'll plan things for the week so I'm not just so like bombarded and everything is just falling on top of me in one day. Something I struggled with before. I try to do everything all at the same time, thinking that I could, and I realized I'm not that I can't do all of that and keep my sanity. So, time scheduling my working in my planner. Like I'll start on Sunday and I'll be like, okay, this is what next week's gonna look like. If it can't be done today, we'll move it to the next day, but it's gonna get done within that week. So I just prioritize what needs to be done and I'll schedule. Even if it's going for a walk, that's something that's very therapeutic for me. I make sure I'm going on a walk or go on a hike. Not in this weather, but soon.
Yeah, not just. I don't want you walking in this weather.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
no, 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 no. So then, I'll just, I mean, I have hobbies too. I like yoga. I love hiking. I love dancing. So those are things that I use to kind of just escape all the crazy chaos and noise and be able to pour back into myself so I could pour back into my books and my kids and my family.
Now we are talking with author Shymara Medina. She is the first place winner of the second annual For the Culture Book Awards, which is a contest that we started last year to celebrate authors who are upholding our culture by writing amazing books that celebrate our culture, that are well written, and that resonate with their readers. And Shamar was able to do all of those things with her amazing children's book, Zeke's Quest for Courage. So if you would like a copy of her book, you can go to Amazon right now and purchase a copy of her book. We are going to put the link in the chat, and you can just click on that link and purchase your book right now. Here is her link tree. Link. I don't even know how to say it, but it's Linktree / Shymara Medina. And you can also go straight. We have an Amazon link as well. We can go if we can go ahead and put that link up there as well. Daniel, if you could put that link up too. If you That'll take you directly to Amazon, and you can go ahead and click her link, purchase her book, purchase her book. Zeke's Quest for Courage. This is the book that I'm telling you, the all of the judges truly loved. They gave me such amazing feedback on your book. They just really loved it, and they just really loved how you touched people. And I believe all of the authors said that they were going to be purchasing the book themselves for their kids, or for the kids in their lives, I should say.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome.
yes, so congratulations on that. And
Thank
so
you.
right there. This book is also has been added to the Meet the World Image Solutions Amazon storefront. So there are not all of the authors, but many of the authors who have been featured in the Horizons Author Lounge are also featured in the storefront. And you are one of the authors who have been added to the Amazon storefront. So if you click on this link, that will take you to our storefront, and you can see they will be able to see your book there, and they can just click on that link and purchase your book. And so this is one of the books that have been added to the storefront. So your book is going to be there forever and ever.
Oh, I love it. It's in a good place, in good hands. So I appreciate that. And I appreciate you having that space for our books and whatnot.
Oh yes, absolutely. This is why I wanted to start the contest. I mean, yes, it does bring attention to Meet the World Image Solutions, but Anything that I do while I'm bringing attention to the business, I want to be a service to the authors who I serve. I want to make sure that we're doing something that's going to bring attention to all of you. So I was so happy that when I informed you that you won the contest, that you came and actually accepted your award in person. I just thought that was awesome.
And I think that I was no question and no hesitation to come out to New Orleans. Funny thing about that, I was actually manifesting New Orleans a long time before I knew that it was going to be because of a book award. So for that to be there and to hear that that's where it was going to be, I was like, oh no, I can't miss this. It was already destined for me. So I think it was an amazing experience. I had never been before, and I was able to not only be a part of the award ceremony, but I did a little exploring, and it's just the culture is there. It's just you could feel it. You walk down the streets, you could feel it. The monuments and all the exploring was just it was amazing. I came back home and I was like, oh, I'll go back for sure.
Yeah, and the place where we had the event was a very historic place as well.
Yes.
That was the Zulu Hall, and the Zulu Social Aid and Pleasure Club is one of our oldest Black Mardi Gras crews in the city of New Orleans, and they hold on to tradition like this.
Mhm.
It's a very traditional club, and so I was very honored to be able to have the event there. And how did you like the second line band that came in?
The entertainment.
Yes.
I think it was it was different for sure, but I love music and I love culture and I love traditions. I feel like that just gives everything a whole nother meaning to life, to be able to be rooted in something. And so to be able to see it live, and I'm like, okay, this is different. I feel honored. I really felt welcomed and accepted in that space. So I think that was a highlight for me.
Awesome. I'm really glad that you had a good time. And
Yes,
so,
I definitely did. It was my first time ever, and I was like, "What do I say? What do I do?" So, as much as I'm talking right now, it's just my nerves. I'm pretty shy and reserved. So, public speaking is still something I'm working on, but I'm gotten better. I've gotten better. I
oh,
think
you did a great job.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, you did a great job. Don't worry. So, what did you go see while you were in New Orleans, though?
So, I forgot the name of it specifically, but I did go down the streets over there. Is it Canal Street or am I imagining
Went
things?
to Canal Street.
Yeah, so we could see the little ferry by the water. Definitely checked out the Benet spots. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but
Yes.
definitely checked those out. And then there was a free park with structures
Oh,
over.
oh, wait. Are you thinking of Armstrong Park with all of the statues?
Yes.
Oh, nice. That's a great
S-
spot.
So I went in there and I was like, this is free. This is amazing. It was really, really, really pretty. And then outside of there, we actually rented one of those trolley bikes and just went around the lake and you saw the people with the little swans in the water.
Oh,
So
you went to no, you didn't go to Armstrong Park. Did you go to City Park?
oh my God, I gotta find the name.
Because if you went
Um
to the lake with the little paddle boats, that might have been City Park.
Yeah, there was swans in the lake, and there was like a park, and then there was this big white building, like a
City
museum.
Park. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that was
And then next to the
City.
museum was the garden of monuments or something or
Yeah,
structures.
you
Yeah.
made it all the way to City Park. You go, girl. Did
Oh
did
yeah. If I'm gonna go somewhere new, you're gonna find me exploring. You're definitely gonna find me exploring. I love to explore.
Yep. Yep, Mark. She went to City Park. She found her way. I am so proud of you. City Park is one of the most beautiful spots in New Orleans.
It was. It was very, very, very nice. And then we definitely had to try a seafood boil. So we went to go try some of that. And surprisingly, we had Thai food that was amazing. And I'm like, in New Orleans? Okay, but it was good. I was a little skeptical at first, but it did not disappoint. So, I mean, I dived into the most I could in the time I was there.
You did your thing. Okay, I am so proud of you. You see, most people when they go to New Orleans for the first time, they don't leave the tourist area. They go to Canal Street, they go to the French Quarter and Bourbon Street, and they think they're
Mhm.
in New Orleans. So
No. I
you
mean, I did all those too. I did all those too, but I
yeah,
was
but
like,
you
I
did.
know there's more to it. There's more. And I'm adventurous in that aspect. I will venture out to what most people won't go to, or just, and I'll try to squeeze in the most I can in the time frame I'm there. So I'm like, it's going to happen by any means necessary. I also went on a boardwalk. I don't even know where it's called. I don't know how I ended up there, but I know it's next to where I was staying. And the boardwalk was it was so calm and peaceful. And there was even a little snake popped up and it just kept going up and down on the thing. And I'm like, what is that? I thought it was fake until I looked closer and it was real. But I was like, you just life's experiences is meant life is meant to be enjoyed. But
Yeah, Mark said you should have gone with us to the Pelicans game. We had a good time.
I didn't even because I drove down. I probably got there Friday. I don't even know when the game was. I'm not a,
We went
I'm
to the
not
game
really.
after the brunch.
Oh, that's when it was. Oh, well, that would have been an experience too.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, that definitely would have been an
Yeah,
experience. But I guess
you have to be.
there's always a reason to come back, right?
We're gonna have to bring you back to New Orleans.
Bring me back, bring me
Yeah.
back.
Because Michelle Jackson is having the Black Ink Festival in June.
Nice. I think I've heard of that before.
Yes. So you're gonna have
Mhm.
to come to Michelle Jackson's festival in June. It's only a 1 day festival, but I was supposed to call her today. My bad, Michelle. Uh, I'm gonna call you tomorrow, girl.
You gotta write it down. You gotta write it down.
Girl, I got busy. All right, so I'm gonna call Michelle tomorrow.
Yes.
But yeah, Michelle Jackson is having the Black Ink Festival on June 20th. And I'm gonna partner with her and I'm gonna do a workshop on the 19th. So
That sounds fun.
yeah, so you should come back to New Orleans in June.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll write it down.
Yeah. Yeah. See? Mark's been to Michelle's festival too.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's always good to meet and greet with other authors or just kind of just get out there and see what everyone's doing. It's
Mhm.
I always get excited to see how creative people can get.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, girl, believe it or not, we're about to hit the top of the hour.
Listen, look at us. It's a breeze. That was a breeze. I guess, when you're talking about something so good and positive, you just lose track of time, right?
Absolutely. But now, I don't want us to end our conversation before you plug your event that you have coming up.
Okay, so yeah, here in Georgia, we have the Conyers Book Festival coming up in April. It's a 2-day event, but I'm only going to be there Saturday, April 11th. It's going to be a lot of local authors going to be there. Actually, Mark is one of them as well. So that's something that I'm looking forward to. I'm excited for. It's supposed to be a good turnout, so I'm hoping that everyone comes out and supports the local indie authors and just decides to check us out, give us a try, and just you know dive into the endless passports of adventures with our stories.
Yes. So come on out to the Conyers Book Festival. It's going to be April 11th. So
Yeah, 11th and 12th. I'll personally only be there on the 11th, but most authors will be there the whole weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Yeah.
okay, so April 11th and 12th in Conyers,
Hmm.
Georgia. So make sure you're
Yes.
there. All right, and just before we end, I do want to remind you, as many of you know, I am the author advocate for the Creators' Rights Movement. So I want to remind you to sign the petition for the. We are trying to change the outdated copyright laws. So
Mm.
for those of you who don't know, if and we want you to apply for copyright for your book, but remember, copyright in its current state is only good for 70 years. So if you are writing a book because you are trying to establish a legacy for your family, that copyright runs out after 70 years. So after 70 years,
Mm.
somebody can stake a claim on your blood, sweat, and tears,
Mm.
and they can benefit from your hard work, and your family has no recourse. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to make copyright perpetual. So that way, your family will always be able to stake a claim to your hard work. So let's say you might think, well, I've only sold a couple of books, so my book's not worth anything. You never know what's going to happen. What if your book hits and it
Mhm.
winds up selling 1 million copies one day? But because the copyright has run out, somebody else can stake a claim to it and your family gets nothing. But if
Mm.
we go ahead and get these laws changed and we're able to make this perpetual, your family can go ahead and benefit from that. And your book does one day hit 500,000, 1 million copies, or whatever. Even if it only sells 20 copies, your family is able to benefit from that
Right.
because we were able to get these copyright laws changed. So if you go to the link, Creators' Rights Movement, you can click on the link. It's in the chat right now. You click on that link and you can read more information, and then click right at the top where it says sign the petition. You can sign the petition right now and join the movement. We can go ahead and get enough signatures to where Congress can listen to us and they can
Mm.
voice, and we can get these copyright laws changed. That's what it's all about. And starting April 1st, we are actually setting a goal to get 1,000 signatures in 30 days. But
Okay.
until April 1st to sign. Go ahead and sign now. We'll get 30,000. We'll get 1,000 more.
No, no, no. We start now. Start today.
Right. Start now. Start now. Just take it to do it. So let's go ahead. Click that link right now. That's right. Don't let anybody else eat off your hard work. Come on, Mark. That's what I'm talking about right now. Don't let anybody else eat off your hard work. Get these copyright laws changed. Go ahead. Click the link. Click the link. Let's get these copyright laws changed. And let's go ahead and make a real legacy for our families. We have worked too hard on these books to let somebody else benefit from our hard work. So that's all
Yes.
I've got to say about that. That's all you got to say about that.
I I love it. I love the movement, and I'll definitely be sharing. I'll be signing. That was one of my goals when I wrote a book. I wanted to create a legacy far beyond when I'm existing and pass it down to my kids and their kids. So that right there, that means that's special. So if anyone knows how much hard work it is to be an author, they'll definitely be supporting that movement, and I'll make sure they're supporting it.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you. But we have been talking with author Shymara Medina. She is the first place winner of the second annual For the Culture Book Awards. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you, Shymara, for sharing your story with us. Thank you for sharing Zeke's quest for courage with the world. And we cannot wait for your third book. When will your third book be available for us to purchase?
Okay, so I guess if I say it publicly,
Yes, you can say it publicly.
it's gonna make it something happen. Okay, so I'm aiming for September. I'm
Okay,
aiming for September. So I'll just leave it at that much.
Well, you know what? I'm about to put myself on blast too because my goal is to have my next book, which is going to be a nonfiction. I'm ready for my book to be out by July. This is March.
Oh, yes, that's you got this. We got this.
We got this, girl. We got this.
Mhm.
All right, Shamar. But thank you once again. Tell us where we can find you if people want to reach out to you.
You always find me on Instagram. I'm under Shymara_Medina. There I post all my events, all my highlights, what's going on, or just personal advice, even just encouraging for our kids and our families. So yeah, you could follow me there, keep up with the trends of Zeke's quest for courage, see what he's getting into next, and see what I'm writing next. And yeah, just check me out there, follow me, and help me support not only myself but other authors as well.
Did you wait? I just thought about something. You didn't show us the book. Where's the book?
It's right here. It's these Quest for Courage. That's my firstborn. Yes,
Oh,
made me a
that's
proud mother.
oh, that's beautiful. Well, thank you once again for joining us tonight. You have a wonderful evening. May God bless you. Stay safe.
Thank
Hopefully,
you so much.
hopefully you won't be getting these storms that we might be getting tonight.
Nope. Well, we'll think positive and we'll just we'll stay focused on the mission here. We got to write. We got a deadline now. It's officially out there. They heard us.
Absolutely. All right. Well, you enjoy your evening. Be blessed, stay safe, and keep writing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
All right, y'all. That was author Shymara Medina. I hope you all enjoyed tonight because I know I did. This was a great show. I love it when we have great guests. Well, we always have great guests, but this was a great guest tonight. So you guys have a wonderful evening. I will see you tomorrow on Black Authors Matter TV, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then I will see you right back here for another episode of I forgot what show I'm on. Horizons Author Lounge. Don't say because we're gonna have two more great guests. We're gonna have Fierce Manson, and we're also going to have a new author that you really need to meet. He is a former military army sergeant major, and he has written all about leadership and you really need to read this book because it's going to be something amazing and I just can't wait for you guys to meet him. So just make sure that you are here next week so you can meet these two great authors, and then we're going to have two more authors the following month. And then if you would like to be a guest on the Horizons Author Lounge, just go to my website www.mtw imagesolutions.com and then click on work with me and look for the Horizons Author Lounge. And you can schedule yourself for a free slot on the show, but we also have some amazing paid options, including getting a cover. Yes, a cover feature on Meet the World magazine. And you cannot beat that. You really cannot beat that. So if you have not gotten your copy of Meet the World magazine, make sure that you click the link and I will make sure that you get a copy of Meet the World magazine because there's some great stuff in there. I'm telling you some really great stuff in there. And if my computer were working right, I would give you that link. Why do I always have issues every time I try to give you this magazine? I don't know what's going on. But make sure that you guys get a copy of Meet the World magazine because I'm telling you, there are some amazing articles. This is the inaugural issue, and there's some stuff in there. I'm talking about there's the feature on our guest that we just had, Miss Shymara Medina, and I also told you about our essay contest winner. I also told you about the creators' rights movement. There's an article in there about the creators' rights movement. I've also told you we even have what's called opening the vault. And we what opening the vault is we're actually telling you about some older books that you may not have heard about, but you really need to know about. You want to learn about that as well, because there are some books, just because you hadn't heard about them a few years ago, doesn't mean that they're not great books. So we're introducing you to some authors that you really need to get to know. So there's so much good information out there, and we have it all in this one magazine. So make sure you click this link. Like I said, it's a free download. You can't beat it. Just click the link, read the articles, get some information. I even have a great article on how you can use AI to help your writing journey. I'm not teaching you how to use AI to write your book for you. I will never teach you how to use AI to write your book for you, but I will teach you how to use it as an assistant, because I teach ethical use of AI. I do not teach you how to cheat. I teach you how to use it as a writing assistant. And so all of this is jammed into this one issue. So there's so much great information in there. And I haven't even told you about everything. So make sure you click this link, get this article. And like I said, if you would like to be featured on Horizons Author Lounge, you can either get a free slot or you can pay a little extra and you can actually get a feature inside of the magazine, as well as a whole bunch of other great benefits. And then I also want you to hit my Substack, because today I released an amazing article about Dr. Emily Woolcock. Dr. Emily Woolcock is the first African American orthopedist in the city of Jacksonville, Florida. So she is a history maker. And this is Women's History Month. So why not talk about a history maker like Dr. Emily Woolcock? So if you go to my Substack, if you go to any of my social media, you can click on my Substack and you can read that article. Um, you're going to be amazed at the amazing things that this woman has done and the things that this woman has accomplished. And I'm so blessed to be able to call her my friend. So I was excited to be able to write this article on her. So I just released that article today. So take a look at that. So there's a lot going on with Meet the World Image Solutions. We are more than just a publicity company. We are more than just a publisher. We are here to really uplift the author. You've seen it. You see it here tonight. With the book awards, with the magazine, with the Substack, with this show right here. We do all that we can to uplift the author. This is what we're here for. We're not just here to be a money grab. We are here to be an uplift. We are here to be a support. And we love each and every author that we come into contact with. And so we want to be able to be that uplift for you as well. So if you are looking for somebody to help you with your writing career, someone who's going to celebrate you, come talk to us, because that's what we're here for. So that's all we have for tonight. I love you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow night, Black Authors Matter TV, and then I'll see you right back here at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for another episode of the Horizons Author Lounge. So that's all I got. You guys stay blessed. Have a wonderful evening and a great week. Love you. Bye-bye.